Hello, Internet. Whether it's good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, it is time for match 2 between moonblazewolf and Rhybon here in the quarterfinals of the Adamant Cup tournament. I am Huffin, joined here on the mic by Infinius, with Psychonaut handling the restream and Dubword taking care of the tracking. Infinius, how you doing?
Pretty good. I'm pretty hyped for this race. I know this is going to be, it's going to be a good one. Obviously, Rhybon up a game was a close one. Things didn't fall moonblazewolf's way. I'm sure he will be raring to go to get one back.
Yeah, these two had a well-fought first match in this this tier. Can we call it a tier? This level? I don't know. This match, this round. I'm going to get a thesaurus by the time we're done.
Well, it's round of 8 quarterfinals, isn't it?
That it is. And this is looking like it's going to be a Rosa start for these two today, as we see our set of objectives as well.
Okay, so from what I see, 3 lunar altar objectives. Murasame, Crystal Sword, White Spear. So definitely want to find a Darknet Crystal. Also, can't help but notice that the rump special of requiring Cave Magnus.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Along with the Tower of Zot and Baron Castle, so we've got 2 kingdoms to visit at the very least.
And we also need to go and turn that rat tail. So that means which means if we get a magma key start, then we're going to be on a hunt for that book, because that could be anywhere.
Absolutely. But we're actually pretty low on required key items, I dare say, for the 7 objectives, all of them being quests.
6.
We only need 6 things.
Yeah.
I'm used to needing things, and we may not need many things, but we do need to get this match going, as we are off with an Edward.
I mean, depending if we get the spoon or not. Okay. So that's one of our 6 required key items at least.
Yep.
And I think at that point you see those objectives, you see that Darkness Crystal, and I think it's officially panic time.
Yeah, I would have little worry at this stage. You have the tools to go to the moon. You really don't have the characters yet.
No. Yeah, like I said, but having said that, because we do get that Darkness Crystal, we do get access to that giant. We could, in theory, get a D machine grind of some sort potentially.
Yeah, and I do feel like that's become more popular during the latter parts of this tournament. So we may just be that much more incentivized now, as we get the tower key from the free key item check.
Yeah, not quite the key item you'll really want to see here. With this, we don't need to destroy the super cannon, but so completing the tower, we just need to complete the Tower Zot. So, we'll have, that one is going to burn the back of Arena's mind. I'm sure at some point they might do the full tower at some point. So that's good, at least.
Yeah. Quite possibly, but again, looking at that list of objectives, we actually have no requirement to go underground.
Oh, that is...
Yeah!
Technically true, yes. Huh. So...
a fair chance that we do, just by the distributions, but yeah.
That would be hilarious. If this is the scene where no one has to go underground, that is... Which is possible, because you could have the classic... Twin Harp, which leads into vanilla Earth Crystal leading to Baron Castle. Yeah, in that case, it being a hook route, rat tail being somewhere. Yeah, this could be a potential, a way non-required underground. Huh? Funny.
Rhybon taking that first visit over to Troya just to do some shopping. Picking up, we're seeing Star Veils, not picking any more up. Did pick up some exits, because, you have to actually do Zot for Rosa to know exit. And that
Yeah,
could
and
be a while.
we might know, or it could be very quick. We'll see. But the main thing I noticed is that we haven't really found anything to help push us through through damage. I don't think anyone's checked whether Eddie has equipment with Dancing Dagger or not, because that would be a way to get through just the early game. But no, Dancing Daggers are that good.
Yeah, and I think Rosa in Sineki usually or always, I can't remember, ends up with some manner of bow. And there are a lot of bows that are just not very interesting, not very helpful.
No, it's mostly like she can start with a Cure Staff, or she can
Yes.
start with the Silver Staff. I think she can start with. I think Power Staff is also tier 3, so you can start with that too. So not a lot of great things you can grab there, but one thing also we can find is some J items. So that Stardust pickup could actually also help win a fight at some point.
Yeah, again, this early game, you're looking for those little advantages you can get from items like that Stardust, from that headband or a bandana, some little bit of gear advantage as well, just to get that extra 5 strength or 10 strength, whatever you can manage, until you can really make things roll.
Yeah, exactly. And we did. Oh, there's an archer bow for sale. So on in Troy, so we might be going for that as our way to push through.
Throw in some lit arrows to be able to handle something like Kanazo a little bit better.
I mean, look. Having said that, it looks like both our starting characters started with bows at this point. So that already geared up with our archery at this point, and that was a Kane that was in the bed. So I don't think any of our runners are going to pick him up. Kane is not great in this flag set, despite the fact that he's because he always acts as the edge as our berserker if necessary, and does things better that way.
Yeah, it would have to be an early Sand Ruby, and you find, say, a defense sword or a white spear or something along those lines to incentivize it. Otherwise,
Yeah, probably not worth the time to go grab it at that point. But what we are seeing is, it looks like both our runners are raising the whale. We know we have to go there anyway, so may as well just do this in now. I guess maybe check who the character is on the moon. And hope it's I guess Sid would be good. I guess Edge definitely would be okay. Lots of character options. Pal would be amazing, admittedly.
Yeah.
Palam is just so good in this flag set. Basically, like, eventually you can just get him to nuke, and he gets Quake so early. You just can help overpower a seed early without too much more gear.
Honestly, we are so early on that just any third free character it's something, even if it's just a body to take punches.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Sometimes being the tank, a face tank is an effective use of a character. Moonshop only having illusions and whistles, so maybe might want to come back to grab those illusions, but like that's about it, really.
Yeah, and those will be all but obsolete once we're able to cast Blink reliably.
True. Meanwhile, so let's use on the Lunar Dais here. That's a Palom.
That's a Palom.
Well, yeah, I think. Go on.
I really feel like Muggy should have been Edge and not Palom, but we're happy to have Palom nonetheless.
Yeah, we are in fact all happy that all joined.
So yeah, as you were saying, Phineas, that is some solid mage power, especially early on, and having that third body. At this point, Edward is probably the third body, if we're being honest. Rosa and Palom can do a fair amount of early game mage work.
That's true. Like 80's, time to shine is rapidly, diminishing. Like his time might be to have a nap.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, having naps is a very important job.
I wish that could be part of my job.
I mean,
I feel like I'd be contributing. No complaints.
I mean, maybe if we just be able to do our job while at work, while in the bed, that would be useful. Also, that is a huge pile of nope from Cave Bahamut. That is an antline at home on the moon. So
it's antline cave.
Yeah, it's antline cave. Yeah, cave antline. There's always value in cave antline. That's the saying, right?
Absolutely. They're always saying it. More and more, they're saying that.
So by looks of it looks like our runners are basically following each other's footsteps a little bit. Like I suspect we're going to see a lot of sync in terms of like routing. Like this has all been played itself essentially.
Right. Yeah. Rhybon going and stacking that gear onto Rosa. Definitely going to be relying on her archery for what looks like a Leviathan fight.
Oh. So, what about second column?
I have no problem with the second Pal. They're supposed to, Pal is supposed to be a twin, so naturally.
Yeah, fair.
No problem with seeing Leviathan at this spot. That fractional damage, it doesn't matter that we have such low HP.
Yeah, interesting that we're not. Oh, there's the arrows. Yeah. I think the interesting thing is we're not trying to take Eddie down at this point, but either way, pretty safe fight otherwise. And with two Palums, especially early, I feel like we are going to start going through a seed very quickly now. Like having access to double the elemental 2 spells so really quickly might think about by the time we get to potential underground, we're going to have Quake at the very least. So
meanwhile,
Blaze going for this. Yeah, I was gonna say Blaze handling this a bit differently. Going for twin was a lot more effective than using that Stardust item, because that did almost one shot the Leviathan.
Yep.
Although it did come across it in that he ended up using a Star Veil to try to protect Rosa from the Ice 2s, but didn't end up needing it in the first place. So that's an important thing to note. He's down. Moonblaze is down 1 Star Veil, and we only started with 2.
Yeah, and of all the items that you're going to have in your inventory, that is the one that you're probably the most concerned about your quantity, just because there's so many fights where having 1 or 2 more, or in total, is going to be your way through it. So if we run into a cheeky Golbez or a cheeky Wyvern, and Rhybon's got that Star Veil, moonblazewolf doesn't, that's the sort of thing that can pivot an entire run.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Yeah. It hits so many racers in so many different situations. So you really want to be cautious about that. But moonblazewolf. No, I've never actually used Star Veils or like sold them in the last week or so. Never. Anyway, here's dolls.
Or there was dolls. It's our twin. Oh, a twin half.
Yeah. Well, Blaze is still dealing with dolls, going with this twin bluff strategy that actually I think is going to work pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's twin is such a really good command, especially when you have double Palom, because one of the issues when you go do it the first time is you don't know who's the priority, which twin's magic stack gets used for it. it's for the way it's been coded as it will be the highest priority talent or twin that get that's the black mage that gets used. So yeah, so obviously by bluffing first, you know it's that character who's black mage that gets used. Yeah, as I said, both our runners both doing the full defense. Both our runners also having the twin harp from having done Antlion Cave. Again, we're just going through almost doing, like I said, doing through the exact same checks early on. As I said, this haven't really had much opportunity for divergence, and hey, that's a bit of betrayal right there.
He's coming home, and this is how we greet him. But I mean, this should be a straightforward enough fight.
Yeah. Yes. Ooh, kind of unlucky that Moonblaze got rolled Comet here. Just a little bit less damage, but should be good to go with the vampire. He managed to save, and we're both through. At almost around the same time, so Moonblaze caught up a few seconds.
And Blaze keeping that Edward up and active throughout all these fights. Rhybon hadn't really been making an effort one way or the other. Oh, here's the magma key. But Edward did fall in that fight. I would not be surprised if he's not terribly interested in keeping Edward up over the course of the next couple of battles, because Rosa and the twins, they kind of cover the ground.
Yeah, it's honestly it's not a huge loss anyway. Like now, especially now we've got the magma key. We can now peek at three gated item shops underground. So I think the priority at this point is to see if we can get go underground, just see if there's sirens for sale, and see. And I think with a coffin, I think our runners have gotten somewhere along the way. Use that to basically get our Paladin to Quake. And that basically renders the rest of the seed open.
Yeah, the only headache will be if those sirens are in the Eblin Cave.
Or not appearing in the seed at all.
Or not appearing in the seed at all. Yeah, we are 16 minutes into this run, and we have full world access. Gotta love it.
So I guess one other out of the field option that's available, it would be if we're able to find a enough like MP restorative gear would be once we get Virus on Hallam, would be to do a Mac Giant grind. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but we have Darkness Crystal. If we get a whole bunch of Blink on Rosa, Virus on 2 Paladins, that might be enough to actually also do a grind that way. It would take a long time.
I like the out of the box thinking though.
But it's an option that's available.
I mean, here at Free Enterprise, we appreciate out of the box thinking and quick solutions.
Well,
I don't even know how to sound fake corporate.
Well, speaking of being Star Veils, that is definitely a spot where you definitely need it, because that is Golbez in the doll spot. Don't really want to come in with 2 characters, dead, trying to survive the all the spells that are coming your way that way. I think I'd rather just go somewhere else.
Agreed. And I'm the type that tends to prefer to do Dwarf Castle. I know a lot of runners have a habit of fading it for long stretches of time. But the magic power in that whole sequence is pretty front-loaded. So to have Golbez in the front, that's the oof. Second slot,
Yes.
not so bad. First slot, so bad.
Rhybon. Ooh, okay. So Rhybon doing the good thing, validating the seed, and that was a food and drug inspector.
And that was a cursed ring.
Yeah, that's probably also just as important,
Yeah.
mildly.
The agility anchor question has been solved, and will be solved for
Yeah.
moonblazewolf as well. He's going in as well.
Also does know. Also checks job dwarf. Also talks about the treasures a lot, but
That's the really eager staff that's just like really wants to talk to you about to make sure you're getting everything you need. We got the curse ring. We're good. We're fine. We don't need to hear more of the sales pitch.
Yeah. Probably also important to note here is that we haven't found sirens yet. We're 0 for 3 so far, so we've only one spot left. We have available to us. We might not be in the world of hurt if we want to get Quake quickly.
Well, both of our runners are headed down to that shop down in the Fey March and poking at these chests along the way. There is a trap chest here, and it will be very mean to the party. So they will reset if they find it.
But it looks like it's at floor 3. I don't anticipate Outrunners opening any more chests at this point. In fact, it's just not the risk. Maybe they open this one chest on the way.
Now you've gathered a little bit of loot. It's money. I would say it's good money, but this is Cell Quarter, so.
Dragoon Spear is nice at least, but not a quick key item. And no sirens, just an hourglass.
So, Phineas, how do you like your D machines?
Well, for a start, we actually need a tail to be able to do that first. We haven't seen who is in Baron Inn. We also haven't climbed all deals. I mean, there are potentially other options. Like if we get a hook soon enough, that might be our way to get a grind going. But otherwise, we might just be doing the machine grind and being sad about this. Oh, that is interesting. Because we need to know who that is right now. And it looks like it's Water Hat. Oh no, it's.
Oh no, it's not.
No, I got baited by the no delay in the fight. So yeah, that is is in fact a the alt gauntlet. So I mean, of all the alt gauntlets, that's probably one of the better ones to see, given that it's a late spot for it.
Yeah, if you're comparing, the usual difficulty of that slot versus the kind of gauntlet that you get, that spot can be very rude with how punchy it is and how fast it can be. So to just have, Fey March random encounters, you're kind of happy, but you're still way under level for approaching that.
Yeah.
So runner's gonna file that away and come back a bit later.
Although it looks like Moonblaze is doing a lot more cheeky looting in Sylph, actually. It's actually used the save points in here just to make sure if we find something, or if we do take the reset, we're not going too far out, at least.
Yeah, there are 6 or 7. I can never remember the exact count.
7. There's 7.
Yeah. Yes.
There's 3 sets of ghosts. Double Mulbo, Dark Tree, and the Toad Lady.
Yeah, and it's the Toad Lady the double centipede. And it's the Toad Lady that, if you stumble across a trap chest, you're hoping to find. Toad Lady won't hurt you; she'll just annoy you. So you can handle that. All the others will hurt you, but Toad Lady won't.
So now we've got interesting bit of divergence. Rhybon is going through Castle Evelyn. I am going to assume he picked up a whole bunch of hourglasses, and he's trying to hunt for the monster chest here. So because those are get XP that way. Whereas moonblazewolf is just completing the pan check, Sheila 1.
Yeah, hourglasses were for sale down in the Fame March, so that could very well be Rhybon's strategy. Moonblaze getting an ice cream spoon, I suppose.
Oh, that's actually huge, by the way, because the fact that he has the spoon right now means that we can now go do Cave Magnus pretty safely, because we have Spoonwood.
And indeed, Rhybon does have hourglasses, so is going to be taking these Eblin trap chest fights.
Yeah, so I think Moonblaze bought 1 Barker Swine, so once we get some more levels on Eddie, that is enough to be able to, we are safe enough to be able to do the Zerk to get Edward swinging, and that's just going to be so important because Cave Magnus is not a nice spot for magic spells. Meanwhile, we have Rhybon getting through the first chest. Just got virus from the 2 kid, and the reward is the reward is nothing. It's just the samurai arrows, but the actual reward is more the fact that we now have virus on our children.
Yep. Although if Rhybon still has characters doing archery, those samurai arrows are a good tool for it.
True. He'll need it for the Mad Ogre chest because I think there's an elven bow at the bottom. Well, hey, there's a teller. Huh.
Invidious, how do you like your D machines?
It's not like eggs, right? So I can't say well done.
I didn't think that far ahead. Maybe they're like eggs, maybe it's like steak? I don't know.
Maybe.
The wall doesn't seem to like Blaze, though.
Oh, I think it was because no back row glitch means that the spoon missed.
Mm-hmm.
So gonna give it one more another the college try. I think it's the saying, right?
Yeah. Rhybon, though, coming in with experience rather than cutlery, and Virus will do the job.
Yeah, Virus is pretty good like that.
Oh, and it's a freebie for the second one too.
Yeah, so now we've got interesting choices now, because Rhybon doesn't have. Because given these options,
I can tell you, Rhybon is probably going to drop that Edward and take that Tella.
Yeah, so it basically comes down to the reason why I say it's interesting is because Blaze has the spoon. He might opt to keep Edward and try to do a D machine grind that way. But then who are we dropping in that case?
Yeah.
And that's a tough one.
Yeah, actually, that spoon, it seemed huge. It might be a huge bait. It might, like, the correct play here might be get rid of Edward Fortella, go all mages. And Moonblaze might be nudged. Yeah, is going to drop a Paladin instead.
Yeah, I did. Like I said, this is why it was like an interesting choice. But I do anticipate both our runners are going straight up all deals. With 3 Luna objectives, I really do like routing that in sooner rather than later, since you have to be there anyway.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like, even if these two are doing the same objectives in the same order, we have hit Divergence. This is 2 completely different strategies that are going to be employed from here on out. So this is exciting to see.
Yeah, I did think as soon as that tells who was I going to punt, and like like I said, I thought it was close. I don't fault Moonblaze for making a choice either way because it is that close. And it looks like I think Moonblaze is basically going shopping for said D Machine Grind, I believe, because I'm probably trying to see if we can find more Ether 2s and that kind of thing.
Yeah, could be.
Also note buying that rod just to help trigger the D Machine Grind. That's unblockable 1 damage. So
Anyway, here on Mount Ordeals, we have Leg.
I mean, well, we had Leg. It's about to catch a cold.
That's a persistent Leg. It's taking 2 casts and is throwing out a glare of its own.
Not gonna lie, I didn't expect that to survive the second virus, but I guess that's the top power missile one with the charm rod and the sork robe. So bit of a low roll either way. Oh hey, a Lilith rod. That's gonna be very important. That's. Oh hey, and then we know this is Water Hag because we found the other blue robe down in the Fame Arch.
Yeah, and hey, if we see another Rubicante sprite, we know that's elements. This is the Mountain of Deduction.
So
we're rolling things out.
So basically, you're calling this a Lunar Sparkle in the throne room then, but
you know, yeah, I'm gonna call that shot.
Okay, I mean it's a decent shot. I mean, there's 5 of them. There's 5 Lunar bosses, so.
Yeah. And we actually haven't seen any from any. Was the Baron item was given by Lunar Sparkle, but beyond that, we haven't seen any.
Well, I forgot who was actually there. Normally I'd noted. I completely blanked on that one, and normally I'd remember these things. So.
Yeah. Well, if my memory is correct, then it was just a sparkle, and like that's an easy thing to forget. It's not. It doesn't. It's not going to tie to a name. You don't look at it and be like, aha, Dark Elf.
But what if? No, I got nothing. So, in this in the place where we find out where Taylor would get his remember how to cast meter, where a certain up appearing in the scene would get return to power, we get a required Earth crystal.
And it's Maga Sisters. I'm not a witch.
I think these sisters would kind of be considered witches, but potentially though. So maybe
I'm not one of them, so it's fine.
Okay, yeah.
And they're just one shot by virus, so no worries.
Yeah,
easy fight.
Yeah, easy fight. I mean, not high magic defense there. Only 100 hit points, only 1,000 hit points combined usually. So like you had to do like 400-ish. So. Pretty straightforward. But the important question now is: do we open that treasury?
I'm a loot goblin, so I would go do it. But what are you really looking for with this party in that location? I guess decent
Stardust
armor.
Rod. Rod.
Yeah.
Stardust Rod. If we need more sork, if we can find more sork robes, that would be good.
Yeah, I was thinking even just like mid-tier physical armor for Edward, or to have on reserve.
I mean, I guess for Moonblaze, if we can find a power shirt that also suits.
But of course, you're 32 minutes in. These are, this is the quarterfinals. These are really good runners. Their desires for raiding the treasury are going to be different from mine, for sure.
Yeah, okay, that's setting up for the machine grind if I ever saw one. That's 7 Ether 2s. Which probably also means that we are not going to open the treasury at all for Rhybon's side. I think we're just going to do our grind right now.
Oh yeah, that's heading over to the big whale.
And props for Rhybon to actually remember that Ether 2s were there, as well as as well as Starveils. Not Ether 2 is probably not one of the things on the list of what people check for. So again, credit to him for being able to do it. And we are seeing a manipulation to do this. So for those who are unaware of how this works, some very clever person for a different tournament when we had the can't run flag on, worked out there was a way to manipulate the encounters so that we could guarantee getting the encounter we want from Baron Inn, which is or in this case Mysidia, which has the same encounter rate, and just enables us to just get the required fight we want, which is a searcher with 2 beamers. The 2 beamers, all they do is percentage-based damage. They also die pretty quickly, so that's not a problem. The searcher will summon a D machine. D machine is weak to the weak spell, and only does percentage fire damage. So we can kill that pretty quickly. But again, it'll be interesting what Moonblaze opts to do this time around.
Yeah, we'll see if we get dueling D machine grinds, or if Moonblaze is gonna follow the objectives and the key items. But it is stopping over in Troya. That tells us nothing because that's where the Ether 2s were. Oh nope, is going into the castle. So we actually get.
Are we getting a treasury?
We are getting a treasury.
Ooh.
Hit the music.
Raise that treasury!
Okay, so we had Black Robe, Heroine Robe, Wizard. This is a mage gear.
Actually, the other big thing there was a Soma drop for Altella.
Mm-hmm.
That's also the huge thing there, because now, yeah.
If that's just that little bit more efficient of a D machine grind.
Yeah, because there is a incredible difference between 90 and 100 when it comes to D machines grinds, because the weak spell costs 25. 90 divided by 25 is 3 and change. 100 divided by 25 is 4. So the Soul Drop gives a permanent plus 10 MP. So also the Drain Spear is also a big pickup as well, because if we need to find a cane anchor. So the talk about that so the talk we had about not wanting to go to San Ruby, this is actually the one case where even if we pick it up late, we might want to opt into it, because that would be Val's insurance.
Yep, and between the Cursed Ring and that Drain Spear, like you're saying, that just tanks Kane's agility. He is a slow man with that gear on, and that's what you want as your agility anchor going into Zeromus.
Yeah. To give you an idea of at what point Kane will actually have positive agility with a Drain Spear plus Curse Ring, he gets positive agility at level 33.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have. Well, that gets him to 1. To get it, no. To get to a really annoying one, you have to be in the 60s to get more pop. And if we haven't came in the 60s, we've done something very wrong. I'm talking Orb Grind at some point.
Yeah. We will not be seeing a level 60 Dragoon tonight, or maybe for the rest of the tournament. Things could happen, but highly unlikely. Especially since he's not around for this D machine grind that Rhybon is going through, and I've not bothered to count how many he's cleared so far.
I haven't kept track either. I suppose this is the point where we talk about, I don't know, our love for centaurs, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. You can talk about cricket.
I mean, I have done this before.
I have nothing to contribute to the conversation. I could talk about San Marino's football team because I've been watching YouTube videos about that. They're actually they've never won.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk football, you actually mean like soccer football, not football, right?
Look, the Restream team is at least half would call it football, so I'm ceding the ground.
Actually, no. Australians actually call it soccer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because Australian because there's Australian football, which is a different kind of football, which doesn't. I guess it actually does involve feet, but you're also carrying the ball a fair bit. Yeah.
See, when I was living in Canada for a while, it was mostly matching America, but there were some folks who would refer to soccer as football. I couldn't tell if that was a national thing or they were being pretentious. So.
Yeah, I think for most part they could. Yeah, who knows? I'm not sure, to be honest. Yes, and yes, very good point in the chat. Aussie Rules Wolf is not rugby. Similar ball, but very different sports. And there's also two different types of rugby. There's rugby league and rugby union. There's differences between the two. Basically, the main difference is basically number of players and also how many times you're allowed to get tackled before you have to give the ball away. Kind of like downs in American football. For union is essentially infinite downs, but for rugby league it's I think it's 5, essentially equivalent to 5 downs before you have to give it away. Yeah, if I've never seen an Aussie Rules football game, it is a treat to watch because there's 18 people on the field per team.
That's a lot of people.
As it's played on basically what cricket on a cricket oval sized ground essentially. It's quite intense. It's all about all right. So I guess there's alright. So the objective is to basically kick the ball through like a whole bunch of sticks on each end of the ground. If you kick it through the middle, that's 6 points. If you kick it, there's 4 sets of sticks. There's 2 in the middle and all on one side. If you kick it through the middle 2, that's 6 points. Oh, sorry. If you kick it through there and with a kick and it's not touched at any points, it's 6 points. If it goes to the outer between the outer 2 sticks, or gets touched on the way through the kick, it's only 1 point. Typical scores, I guess, are about 80 to 100 points per side. Although if someone's doing really poorly, that you could just score as low as 20. Case in point, there was a game last night between Richmond, which is a team based in Melbourne, versus the West Coast Eagles, a team based in Perth, and that was a very, very, very not close game. I believe it was 165 to 56. One of those numbers is very high. Another one is very low. And that's right. A single player scored behind.
When you say a team is named Richmond, my brain says, "Oh, so they're from Richmond." But
I mean, they actually are from Richmond. They are actually from Richmond. It's just Richmond is a suburb in Melbourne.
Ah, it's one of those situations. I see.
Yeah. So kind of like how you have the Buffalo Bills, right?
Buffalo Bills. They are based in a suburb of Buffalo.
Yeah.
So I lived in that area for a few years, and you have to go a decent way outside of Buffalo proper to actually get to the arena.
Yeah. So, yeah, to lose generally when you lose but when you lose by 100 points, not that is a very bad result for the losing team. Having said uh, that, the West Coast Eagles are suffering through COVID protocols and also non-COVID related injuries, and also I've just been really bad. I was and Rhybon's done with his
Rhybon is
his
finished.
grind.
So this concludes our D-Money DJ and our international sports talk for this stream.
That's a shame. I never didn't even get to what I'm known for, which is cricket. I'm really disappointed. Yeah. Could our runners have been less efficient with their grinds?
Well, hey, Rhybon's party is pretty much all at 50 or better, so I don't know. Seems pretty efficient.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it had a stumble of some sort, but I guess at that point, no. Our runners, no. At this stage of the game, probably are strong enough runners to not have that many stumbles.
Yeah, we'll only have a problem if either of them forget to save. That would be a massive stumble after all that investment.
Yeah, and that because that is a lot of time you've committed to doing a D machine grind, and just to have to do it all again, that would feel incredibly bad.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you to our researcher Psychonaut for queuing up the D Money DJ as we're doing that. But as moonblazewolf is finishing up on their side, Rhybon is coming back. Looks like going to head over to Tower of Zot, maybe Cave Magnus. Kind of doesn't matter what order you're doing things in. At this point, I would probably
Cave Magnus into Zot because once you do Cave Magnus, if you do Cave Zot first, you have to fly back anyway to do Cave Magnus. So may as well just do it this way around. It's just more routing efficiency more than anything. And this also makes sense doing things this way first because these are your objectives. A, these are your objectives, and B, this gets exit on Rosa, which is not nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you have that Tella, so you have a source of it pretty reliably, but if he's going to be on the ground a fair amount, then might as well have someone who's actually up and able to cast.
I mean, Rhybon's Tella is pretty beefy. He has 48
Yeah.
Level 48?
That is one strong, frail old man.
Well, yeah. I guess one thing here is that, so this is one of the things about this is that with Nuke, you can bypass a whole bunch of magic defense, all the higher magic defenses are here. There is one, if there's a Val here though, Rhybon is going to be in a spot of bother, shall we say. The only way Rhybon would have to bypass that is, I guess, Rosa aiming. But that doesn't sound tantalizing at all.
Yeah, no, I would not be a fan of that. I think that goes back to what we were saying earlier about that reserve Kane, which you do not want to be in that position when you don't actually have Kane yet.
But I suppose with Rhybon's party going down, I suppose now is the time where we're meant to start talking a lot, right? Because nothing important happens. We don't know what.
We just did that, Infinius. We just did that bit. I think we actually should be quiet and let them listen to the music.
I suppose just at the very least, let my voice rest, I guess. Does that make me a witch?
I'm applauding both for Infinius for the call and for Rhybon for getting through that fight and getting the Legend Sword.
So this is fighting Val here is actually really good for Rhybon. Because, okay, it's gonna seem weird. I know that I'm saying it this way, but the reason I say this is because we know that means that Val is not on the moon, and that was the big worry for Rhybon. Now we know that Val is gone. Rhybon's party is just going to be a lot better with double nuke whites completing the rest of the seed now. So even though it initially looks kind of bad, the fact that now Moonblaze is now rocking Spoonwood as sort of a second nuker is I think favors Rhybon a lot more than it does Blaze. Counterintuitive, yes, but I really like Rhybon's position at this point compared to Blaze's now. Since Blaze committed to Spoonwood. Yeah, in terms of what Rhybon would be worried about at this point, if there's a very rude Ogopogo on the moon somewhere, that could be potentially awkward, but we should be able to set up with double nuke whites. You can set it up so that you have you can just nuke Ogopogo either by reflecting it or like just go direct casting and healing through the blaze counters.
Yeah, I think the main things that would be scary for Rhybon is anything that aggressively counters or resists magic, and Val was one of those. That's kind of gone. It's not a lot that can mess with you at this stage. I guess we'll be quiet again for more Bubble Bobble.
Yep, totally.
It is a nice jaunty tune, though.
It's great.
So yeah, we can just see the difference in the strategy there. Moonblazewolf getting through the Val fight with just one swing, really. Rhybon had to do a whole lot of setup and finessing to get through that with a bunch of casters, but I do agree with Infinius's read of the situation overall. I think Rhybon still has a solid lead, and at this point, 2 objectives down, Moonblaze right on his tail. But I would say still holds that lead.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what this Earthcrest is. If it gives us like the Barracky or something, then that makes for interesting options. But no, it just gave us a white shirt. So I think at this point, my gut tells me just is to do our Luna spot, since we know we need to do that anyway. But Rhybon just agrees with my assessment. We're going straight to the whale.
Yep, you've done your grind. You've got good levels on everybody. Follow your objectives and hope they cascade.
Exactly. Again, we only need 3 more key items. No, which is kind of wild. Given that we're 55 minutes in, we only have 6.
Yeah. Well, 7 on moonblazewolf's side.
Oh yes, because because Blaze has the spoon.
Mm-hmm. And I mean that is the sort of thing that in another race, you know, you need 3 more key items. One person has 6, one person has 7. Oh look, someone's gonna be at 10 key items. We'll have that grind advantage. We already did our grind.
Yeah.
Like moonblazewolf doesn't get that out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think, I guess the problem is that I don't think at any point does Moonblaze feel behind. Like, we've got our the party going. We've done our grind. We have nuke white spoonwood at fully leveled at the 55-minute mark. Haven't had any major resets, any major time losses. In Moonblaze's perspective, I don't think they are behind it at any stage.
Nah, I think if I was in Blaze's situation, I would feel confident.
Yeah.
And that's totally deserved, quite frankly.
No, I agree. Like, at no point do you think that you are that far behind. Oh, you are behind here. Like, you probably think, no, I think I'm doing things pretty well. I've got my party set up. I think the only possible thing I'd say to make me feel behind is I did a lot more looting in I opened the Treasury and encountered the inventory boss like 4 times, which is not great. That probably is about a minute lost right there. But I would not at that point think I am 2 objectives behind, given that Rhybon has just completed the Mirror Summit also. So what do we get from that moon spot?
We just
I actually missed it.
We just got Artemis arrows.
Okay.
Nice to have, but eh.
I mean, we have nuke. That's a good Artemis arrow. Nuke to the face. So Moonblaze was about to complete objective number 1, about to get their white shirt, whereas Rhybon is going to is just going to top down this. There's no reason not to. We're doing Crystal Sword next. I like doing Crystal Sword if you're doing this anyway. It's the objective. May as well head there anyway, and hopefully it's nothing too rude.
I do like Rhybon doing that little stare bonk of accidentally going back, just to remind us that our runners are human. We all make little mistakes. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Here at the Wyvern spot, we have a DKC.
This kind of counts as being rude.
It's not. It could be nicer.
Yeah, but now we're going to be through now because once we get to Rosa's turn, Rosa can't die here now, so we can just use a life potion. A very expensive way to get through this, but we're through, and that's objective number 4 down for Rhybon. And we see Moonblaze is just hot on Rhybon's tail here. Again, 2 objectives behind. Well, ain't that a thing?
Yeah, that's, Rhybon may well get that spoon, and will not care.
Yeah. It'll probably sit in the inventory, being unloved, or until the end of the seed, I would think. It's unlikely to pick up an edge at any time, at any point. So
yeah. Yeah, even if you're the type that's like, ambivalent on if you want to do Zerkers or all mages when you get to this stage, you've committed in this particular run to your mage-centric party.
Mm.
But Blaze doing reflect strats against the elements to prevent any rotation, any counter scripts from going off. Edward and Tella both take a nap as a result, but get through it. Get those Artemis arrows, get that objective on the board.
So meanwhile, we at the whites we also have paled him, and this is again where having 2 nukes is going to be a big benefit here, because we're not going to see any of the from Rhybon, because we're just going to do a whole bunch of nukes, whereas Moonblaze might actually be obliged to have Spoonwood take a few swings, in which case we're going to get the
Yeah, those slow casts that, I mean, they do slow down the party, but it really feels like the animation is the real slow.
Yeah, it
those.
is. No, it feels like during that time you could, I don't know, have a nap, go for have a couple of drinks, you know. And yet, oh look at that, Palladium's done already. Only an apple for our troubles
Yep.
here, so don't think we're going to use that apple ever, unless we're really worried about about Palam's hit points, maybe.
I mean, you got it, you might as well use it, but yeah, it's not going to be critical to anybody.
That's many time. That's many time I can save to just go zoom.
You know, fair point. Anyway, here's the
No.
mist.
Another fight where having double nuke is going to be better than Spoonwood.
Yeah, because you can't Zerk through this.
No, you can't. Best you could do is or if you do Zerk through it, you're eating a whole bunch of cold mist counters, which also is slow.
Mm-hmm. But of course, with this flag set, the Demus fight is just a fight. There's no bonus item out of it. But this is the Rhybon room, so we are getting 2 key item location checks as a result of that. But so far, the moon has actually been pretty barren in terms of key items. We got a pan, which might lead to stuff, might not.
I mean, pan is still a good pickup, because that's still 2 checks later.
Yeah, it nudges you towards more. If you're Rhybon, if you're Blaze, you already did one of those too, so it's not a huge deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Blaze we only had 1 character alive this time for Blaze, but that's okay. We're just getting through the check. We've got our levels on nuke anyway. I suppose Blaze actually has incentive to use the apple on Edward, so because Edward is only has 1100.
Yeah, that is an extra concern. Oh, there's a pigtail and a Stardust Rod. Okay. But that is an extra concern when you're rolling a Spoonword. Is he is absolute glass cannon. And even compared to a mage party, when mages tend to be squishy, Edward is super squishy. So if you have those HP concerns based on the bosses that are showing up in locations, Blaze is going to have those even harder with that Edward.
Yeah, totally agree. And it all comes down to that decision about at the 20-ish minute mark of
27. Yeah,
whether to keep Spoonwood or keep the second Palam. And I think this is probably the moon has not been kind to Blaze for that choice. So here's the king of all dragons, or king of all summons, Bahamut.
I think Rhybon's just gonna nuke him down. What about you? Do you think Rhybon's just gonna nuke him down?
Probably, yeah. There might be a white in there.
The nukes are doing quad nines. I don't think that's necessary at this point.
Just in case. Well, just in case. You never know. Just Just a bit of padding, but no.
I don't know. Oh, that's a reason to do white if you run out of MP on the children.
That's fine. If you got 4 quad 9s in there, yeah, it's not that many hit points there. So that was a pretty haunted move. Apart from that pan, incredibly haunted. Huh.
Now, to be fair, we haven't gone and visited Ant Lion. We just know that he's there. But yeah, it's strongly feeling like the value and the direction to finish out the seed is actually going to be back on the blue planet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's no way. Yeah, we have to go back to the blue planet now. Like, we cannot avoid it. Like, we are 3 key items short, and we have 1 key item location left. Those things do not add up.
And I guess then, there's a small question of, do you fade the Cape Bahamut? And I can't say that either runner has a really good reason to.
I mean, it's from Rhybon's perspective, he knows he has double nuke, so like the odds of it being, I don't know, say someone who Ant Lion's natural habitat on the moon. What are the odds of that happening, given what he's seen so far? I mean,
he'll be happy that that's the case, though. Ant Lion won't do a whole bunch of counters the way it does against normal fight commands, or say a Zerked Eddy with a spoon.
True. Oh, that's true. The Zerked Eddy with a spoon would be suboptimal, but this is a very punchy spot, and I think the counters don't hurt that much. It's a very weak spot in terms of magic.
That's true, yes.
So it'll just be more the animation time that's the issue, not the counters themselves. And yeah, with a couple of blink casts, yeah, we are going to be through, and that left a bit of a mark.
Yeah, good 2k punch on a front row Rosa.
With a white shirt, which does help some amounts in terms of of defense, but not great.
Yeah, this is one of those classic spots where they just programmed maximum damage of one type or another, because the boss never does that type normally.
Yeah. Whoever expects Bahamut, whoever expects people 20 years in the future to make a game where that actually matters. What are the odds? Game devs from the past, take notes. We will break your game. Oh, that is an awkward one to get there, the Lucan key.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward.
So I think the moon being this barren is probably good for Blaze, because that means we're now at the point of the seed where it's like, okay, if Moonblaze guesses correctly, he can come back. But Rhybon is up, but Moonblaze is down 2 checks at this point. So Rhybon, yeah, and especially now we've got the cold mist count. This is going to be a lot long. This is going to be an incredibly long fight now. So, we'll see where Rhybon goes now. I think we're going to go Luca first, because that is or Pan first. Or we can save this. Yeah. Or we can do a safe scum here.
Yes.
And then, okay, so we're doing the safe scum this way. All right, so Rhybon's going to go do the complete pan turn first. And if that is a bust, I guess we prioritize Tower, because that's 2 checks. After that, we prioritize Luca, because that is a quick check where all we need to do is pick the boss. And if at any point we find Baron here, we chase that immediately.
Yeah. At what point do we go back to Dwarf Castle?
I feel like for our runners, that's the last place they're going to go.
That's my suspicion as well.
Because it's just for Spark, Moonblaze knows it's Golbez, so that's going to be a long fight no matter what. Golbez has to go through his script. It's also less dense. It's 2 fights. It's only 1 check essentially, whereas you can do 2. You can climb tower. you can climb the full tower, do 2 fights, and get 2 checks that way. Yeah, I think Rhybon's going to prioritize efficiency this way. Like, I feel like we're going to see Fame Arch before we'd see Dwarf. There's a spoon, and Pans is...
Sand Ruby.
Well, not required, so...
Nope. Rhybon
That
is
pan
back.
What a tower.
If it weren't for those 3 objectives, the moon would be so haunted.
Yeah. Oh, no, we don't know. We're still there. We still have the Luca key.
Yeah. Okay. Mostly haunted. Potentially entirely haunted.
Yes.
Some level of ghost, for sure.
Yes, definitely. Let's see, maybe a poltergeist, perhaps.
I don't know where poltergeist falls on the ghost scale. I don't know what the ghost scale is.
Neither do I, unfortunately. So we'll need to consult. We'll need to consult our resident someone for that, I believe. I don't. Does anyone know? Do we need to call it maybe a Ghostbuster of some sort?
Somewhere in this community, we have a very interesting and diverse community. Someone here knows about ghosts, for sure.
Surely, yes. Yeah. So buying in the top of tower kind of also that was all. I think Rhybon's really happy to see CPU in the hook route because that means it's not anywhere else. But having said that, Rhybon's got the levels that it doesn't really matter too much, I'd have thought. Now, what's going to be important for Rhybon is to see where this reflective wall goes, by the way. Because that's... because the Quake Castle will take out the arms. Or we could just do another Quake. That also... I think the math works out that this should get the kill. Oh, especially if that did 4... If that did 4,000, yeah, that should be enough. I guess the jamming of an aim also helps.
But we get the arms back, and they're not going to get quaked.
Actually, they might. Depends on when that got queued. Okay, it didn't.
I think it resets the actor ID or something along those lines. I don't actually know how this game is coded.
No, it's weird. If Rhybon had queued it when the arms were still up, it would have. I'm pretty sure. But because he queued it when it was down, it didn't. Oh hey, or we just get Baron Key at top of tower, all along. So Rhybon's going to I think we are obliged to do Super Cannon Room next, and then we're going straight to Baron.
Yep. Now we are missing both. But we are missing both the hook and the tail. We have the other tail. We don't have the rat tail that we need. So we are still down 2, but Baron has 2 checks. This is its own check. We could be right on the path.
Yeah. So Lunar Sparkle is doing as we know. So you said there was a Lunar Sparkle that gave us the key item, so that we know it can't be the Lunas now, because that's gone. So that we haven't seen Wyvern, we haven't seen Urgo, we haven't seen Plague, and we haven't seen... Oh no, we've seen Palladium, so that's pre there. That's pre there.
Yeah, and a good array of possibilities in what's left. If depending on the spot, Plague is either free or a nuisance. But with this party, it's probably pretty free.
I mean, at that spot, I think it will die to a nuke, so... And thank you for your Enterprise for the raid. You're watching, we're watching moonblazewolf versus Rhybon. This is game 2. Rhybon is up 1-0. Also, no spoils for your race, or else you get the bonk. Basic summary of this is that we got a very early D machine grind. We talked about sport a lot, but the key choice was Rhybon opted into double Paladin Rosa, moonblazewolf opted into a Spoonwood, and is basically been behind because of that choice, unfortunately. What is the power share that Moonblazewolf probably would want to for out Edward here?
I imagine he'll take it and he'll keep it. Is he doing tower now? Nope. Heading over to do the Sheila 2 check first. Very reasonable sequence of events.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, it's the most time efficient check that Blaze had available to him, so may as well do that one first. But yeah, again, this is kind of why gave it the order I said. Like, after that, in terms of efficient checks, it's tower. After that, it's probably sealed because you have to walk it out. Followed by that, it's probably Fey March because there's 2 checks there, even though there's a Gauntlet there.
Yep. And frankly, we're also seeing why Blaze has been kind of stuck behind for a lot of this seed. Going down. Okay, I thought it was actually, yeah, is going to go do the Seal Cave. This is like the first real bit of location check divergence that we've had all seed.
Yeah.
And things have been very linear and very lined up for both of our runners, and it's just the party comp that's really making the difference.
Yeah. And this is going to be one of those things where, yeah, so Moonblaze is going, if Moonblaze really needs this to be something. I'm not sure what has to be something.
I would say he needs it to be Rat Tail, and we get the hook out of Baron. Because Rat Tail is like, okay, I got what I need, but I can't do anything with it yet, so let me go to tower. And that's going to put him right back on the path. Rhybon is going to be like, I'm missing one piece of the puzzle, where is it? And if he ends up deferring Sealed Cave, that's buying Blaze time.
I'm not sure if that's true, because Hook doesn't actually open anything up. All it opens is
yeah.
So like, if we already had the Rat Tail, that's a different story. But no, but because we just have, we're short both Hook and Rat Tail. Yeah, Moonblaze just needs this to be something, or else we're digging even further into a hole. Potentially.
Yeah, no, that's why you're a skilled racer, and I just sit up here in the booth. The package doesn't help. The package does no help.
Package is not good. So now the question is, if Blaze now goes, he's going dwarf.
He's got a last location, the tower, I suspect.
Possibly, yeah. Oh, yeah, and that could potentially be the game, because we know that Moonblaze is behind. We know that he needed to guess correctly, but Rhybon's probably gonna get to either Hook and Rat Tail in advance.
But not out of the trash can.
But does liberate Baron Castle, which is objective number 2 for Rhybon. So we're really running our checks now. We have this Odin spot and that Fey March, and this Dwarf Castle.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like, if moonblazewolf is straight last locationing the tower, then yeah, that's gonna kill their run basically. But if they're going to do that right after this, and Rhybon just keeps avoiding Dwarf Castle and last locations, that's where it can pivot and buy him back some time.
Ooh, nicely done, Rhybon. Gets the run back off to get to 4 hours.
Very nice, very nice. It's a healthy spot here, though, so gonna have to finish it off. Ooh, actually,
Ooh,
is gonna be able to. Not as strong a nuke as. Oh, but two of them. Two of them is a different story.
Oh, but with the dodge.
What is
but the third?
Final Fantasy IV has damage variance.
Yes.
But Rhybon will be able to go in a fair bit more prepared this time, and we'll see if he can get more Star Veils off, get more party members up.
But yeah, meanwhile, Blaze is through Golbez. About to find it. Oh, so we had to know it was Turtle, because that's what... Oh, we should have known it was Turtle. I had completely blanked out on it, to be honest.
Well, either way, it's the Golbez slot. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean... I guess we can just have a swim would just take just poke it with poke it, and that'll be good enough. Oh wow, that was about 100 hit points short left on that Kinata, by the way.
Oh man.
Two.
It's a wave, technically.
It is. It was a wave. It did a whole 2 damage.
It did plural damage.
Yes, not singular, plural.
Rhybon taking full advantage of that Star Veil, reflecting nukes out, basically using Wyvern strategies against it. For a defense sword, there is no value in Baron Castle.
Meanwhile, back Moonblaze is through Dwarf, but what Luca apparently has around her neck a rat tail. So yeah, Rhybon's going to last location list, but like, it does feel like Moonblaze is going to the last location that Baron key.
Yeah, but we now know the hook is down somewhere here in the Feymarch. It's one of these 2 spots. So he's on the right path. He may get sidetracked going and grabbing what's at the rat tail before doing tower. Not sure how he's going to decide to route that. But I would think, let's go finish out the underground.
Yeah, I mean, after this Feymarch, Moonblaze has no options left. He has the full tower versus the rat tail, and that's it. So Moonblaze is going to 27 out of 28 this seed, I'm pretty sure. Or potentially 26? No, it'll be 27. He's not. He's going to full clear. He's going to full clear this. Rhybon's going to 20. I'm going to guess 28 because he's going to the last location that rat tail.
And actually, so this could be interesting or it could be 2 on the margins, but Blaze has reason to do both of these fights.
Yes.
One of them is the hook. The other, I believe, is going to be the pass, because we've seen everything else. Have we not?
It could be behind Rat Tail. It could be behind Rat Tail.
It could be behind Rat Tail.
Which he's going to get the pass anyway, so...
Yes. But that would be the lucky play, is if Blaze does both of these fights, ends up with the pass and the hook, Rhybon picks correctly and just gets the hook, doesn't fight for the pass, now there's like that little bit of time differential as a result. Is that huge? Not really.
No.
This could be a fight where that little bit pays out, though.
Yeah, it'll be a bit of time gain that way, but I mean, Rhybon has we're both Garcia runners converged to the Feymarch. We know that the hook is here somewhere, but both our runners are 2 key arms away from go mode, and we know where and one has the key arm the other doesn't have. So now we're about to find out where everything is, possibly.
Yeah, looks like. There's
That's
our
the hook.
Do we fight the Gauntlet? We know we don't have to. Is Blaze going to invest?
I think by not exactly, he looks like he is going to invest that time into doing it.
And I think that's the right play.
It is. It is.
And Rhybon going straight for the Dark Elf, going straight for that hook. No, moonblazewolf is out, skipping the Gauntlet.
Oh.
At the very least, setting up a save.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting save stum there. At the very least, do our objective. Maybe that has the Baron key, so that kind of plays in that sense. But after that, Blaze now has option. Blaze now has to make a huge choice here.
Yeah.
Oh hey, Vanilla.
Adamant.
That means that old Gauntlet has the pass.
Indeed it does.
Which I wouldn't do I don't think that's a time save to do old Gauntlet for a pass. I think I'd just rather fail.
That is actually a fully vanilla grotto, I just realized.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Rat's turn gave Adamant, yes.
But it looks like Blaze is going to commit to avoiding the Gauntlet,
Ooh,
while Rhybon is committing to doing it.
Okay. So now we have Adamant Spoonwood with a whole bunch of levels, so that's nice. But yeah. Rhybon is going to blast location its Rat Tail.
Yeah.
But is going to get his pass.
Yeah, is going to get that possible advantage that we were talking about. I don't know. That might. I don't know the times well enough to be able to say.
Yeah, I mean, this is just if we're able to kill the Conjurers before they summon anything. This is not as bad. This is not a long fight.
And Rhybon is able to do exactly that.
The next one's going to be awkward. The last one should be maybe awkward, but we might just be able to get away with 2 nukes there. Or weak followed by, I don't know, a virus, I guess. Because the last fight is the Clapper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's 2 of them. I thought there was only 1 of them here. Okay, that's fine. I guess we also have... This is where the anti-arrows come into play here. Just to help a little bit. Yeah, that was in fact a little bit. Yeah, Rhybon through that Orc Gauntlet is going to get his pass unless we have... No, we have not. Oh, and we have seen the Penguin Air special from moonblazewolf. Not going to pay off, but, you know... but... We'll see what Moonblaze opts to do after that, because it's either that Orc Gauntlet or it's the top of tower. And depends on where he left the save, I guess. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
Rhybon is going to... Yeah. Go to the last spot he has left. Is going to get... find out its Golbez into Kainatsu and... But we'll be through short... training with Ratel shortly.
And I do believe Blaze set a save in the tower, so we'll reset back to that one, unless I missaw. Yeah, the power shirt, not... It's nice, not nice enough, especially when you have Adamant.
Yep, I mean, you could take it off Spoonwood, but how about no? I mean, at that point you may as well just leave it on him. Unless he gets
Aren't they the same power or strength stat boost?
It is, but the agility is also... The plus 15 agility is also relevant.
Yeah,
as well as being able to the plus 15 to all the other stats, so that Spoonwood could survive big bangs, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so that's why in my head there's not much reason to take adamant armor off of a character. I won't say there's no reason. There definitely are times, but leaving it on is just the safe, easy play.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's unlucky on Rhybon's side. That was about a couple hundred short of getting the one shot on Golbez there.
Yeah.
So while we have both our runners basically covering each other's tails to get their go mode, simultaneous go mode at that. Huge shout out to runners. They put on a heck of a show. This was fun. Go follow moonblazewolf. Go follow Rhybon. They all deserve your love. And don't forget to follow Psychonaut for doing the restreaming, Dubwood for the tracking, my fellow commentator Huffman for allowing me to talk about Australian sports.
And follow Phineas, along with being quite knowledgeable on quite a few sports, is also a skilled runner of this game in his own right.
Yes, Moonblaze has Baron Key, is in go mode, but has to liberate Baron Castle first. Rhybon about to get his Rattata, also about to be in go mode, but is going to get his crystal a lot sooner. Also fair point. Moonblaze will also have to, once Moonblaze liberates the castle, has to do the full walk down the subterranean.
Yeah, so this is definitely Rhybon's advantage here. But I don't know. We're still in the range of like a Zeromus fight getting out of hand, evens things up.
True. That's true. This is things can always go sideways pretty quick. If you don't handle things correctly. I'll be interested to see if Rhybon decides to turn in the pink tail.
Oh, yep, there it is.
Okay, he did. Okay.
I mean, you have an adamant. The adamant armor is just sitting right there in front of you. It's yours. You can have it. Go have it.
Yeah. I suppose just to make sure that things don't go too poorly. Kind of important in that case. I mean, I assume you're going to be doing a whole bunch of minuing anyway, just to prepare for the Zeromus fight. Why not put an adamant armor on? Yeah, that's right. Just a few seconds, and now we're going to go to the pub and turn this past, and for some reason suddenly make our way to the moon.
I mean, that some pubs are just like that.
I mean, yeah, like you go into the moon, you have a couple of drinks, and next thing you know, you're on a ship somewhere off to God knows where.
And you're like you're gonna go kick a butt. You don't even know what butt it is. You don't even know if it's a butt you want to kick. It might be too cute. It might be too like visually disturbing. It might be too behatted.
Yep. Yeah, could have no. It could be some a thing you don't even know, and then at that point, do you even want to kick it? Because who here would kick the butt of a stranger anyway?
Yeah, but I mean, we know Zeromus. We know this fight. We know where he is. We just don't know what he's going to look like. So what butt are we kicking?
There you go. There we go. That's all right.
I love when we have two commentators who don't want to just ask the question straight, and we gotta just play around.
Nah. I mean, look. I think the spirit of the question was asked. It doesn't need to be the actual thing. That's the thing. Like,
what is that thing?
Vipermus.
Huh. Not bad, just not familiar.
Yeah, I don't think it has either. Like, I feel like I should though. Like, someone told me what it is.
Our lovely art director,
SWAT cats.
SWAT cats. SWAT cats. You are now being reminded of SWAT cats.
I barely remember that from my childhood.
I almost feel like if you told me SWAT Cats was an Australian rules football team, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll believe that.
I mean, it's the Geelong Cats, not the SWAT Cats.
Close enough.
Geelong, for those who are playing along, is a city south of Melbourne. But there's a whole bunch of nukes coming, being reflected off this column, doing like over 9,000. We should. This might not be a fight that Rhybon could possibly lose unless he literally stops making inputs.
Yeah, this
and look,
that's a nice thing there, Big Bang. Yeah, very nice. But yeah, this would have to be, a misinput or something falling off, one way or another.
Power goes out kind of thing. Which, given that we're still seeing a stream, probably not, something that probably hasn't happened.
Yeah, this reflect only approach going to actually even be faster. It won't trigger the counter script that would refill Zeromus' HP, so Rhybon even has a smaller health pool to go through, and it's already gone. That's GG.
Yeah, GG Rhybon gets to say it will progress to the semi-finals. We were tied 137-47. GG's.
And we will see if we can get Rhybon in here to have a quick chat. That looks like a Rhybon in the restream room. If you can hear us, GG.
Hey, good evening. Thank you.
So, pretty much this entire run pivoted on that Tella. And who you got rid of to take that Tella. I feel like in your situation, the choice was pretty obvious.
It was a bit of a risk because it did leave me without Val insurance, which kind of bit me in the butt in Cave Magnes, I'm sure. But it seemed like the right call. 2 nukes are very powerful. White is also very useful. Tella's an excellent anchor, and I had that curse ring, so it seemed like the play, and I was just taking a risk that there wasn't a required Val up on the moon. And luckily today there wasn't.
No, just a required Val in Cave Magnus instead.
Yep, and well, that I hope chat enjoyed extended music because I did, but maybe not as much as chat did. But still, yeah, I was very happy to see Val there compared to a much more difficult location like Rhybon Room with far more HP. So once I saw that Val, I'm like, oh, I don't have to change my party out after all. Because really, I was just knocking out Magnes and Zot to maybe see if there was an additional melee up on Zot. That way, that would be my Val insurance. I'd level him on the moon, throw a curse ring on one of the Palums, he'd be my anchor, and he'd be good to go. But it ended up not being necessary.
Yeah, I actually did point out that you were at that point that seeing Val in KMS was actually very, very good for you, given both yours and Blaze's party composition. Because that means that you knew you were safe to keep all mages. whereas Blaze was now obliged to carry the Spoonwood in the end.
Definitely would have liked a spoon word though. I don't remember where the spoon was, but clearly I didn't get it in time in order to actually leverage it.
It was
Shield
at
one.
Shield 1, yeah. Which that was pretty much the only check divergence you two had for a good hour. Was Moonblaze going and doing the Sylph Cave, doing a little bit of extra looting, and ultimately getting that spoon, which nudged him to keep the Edward. And that's where things really kind of separated. But beyond that, you both ran very similar routes. Were you even doing the D machine grinds at the same time?
That must have been fun to commentate, I'm sure. But
Oh, we talk about so many sports.
all the sports balls. But no, the reason I faded Sheila 1, and the reason I did that trap chest down in Evelyn, is I just wanted to get one of the pounds to Quake. By that point, I had a cursed ring. I'm like, I'm going to do Sylph Trap Chest. Let's go. I just need to get a pound to Quake, and I'm going to go get a ton of XP, maybe get an Adamant or something nice down there. But then Tella showed up, and I'm like, well, I'm kind of contractually obligated to go do a D machine grind. So forget Sheila 1. Maybe I'll find the pan on the moon. I did. It had nothing, but at least I got to double dip the wool instead of triple dip.
Yeah, I mean, the seed gave you the Darkness Crystal right out of the gate. I think we're all expecting a D machine grind pretty early on.
I was really just waiting for the Zerker to show up, but they never did, unfortunately. I saw Sid. I think I saw Kane lying in bed, but Sandra became too late. I don't know where Edge was. Probably on Hook Route, probably in Giant. But it's generally not something that I normally enjoy, or not that I don't enjoy it, but I'm just not used to doing mages, so I was kind of forced to by the seed, and luckily it worked out in the end.
I mean, for being quote unquote unfamiliar with mages, you played that really well, leveraging the whole idea of having double nukes and whites. So you should be happy about how you ran that aspect of the seed.
Oh yeah, definitely not upset with. Upset with that Wyvern a little bit, but that's just because Palom kind of ran out of mana. I almost had him this time.
Right. Oh, right. That explains a few things then. Okay. So you had to. That's why you used the ethers in the end, and not bother changing battle speed.
But at least I saved this time, so you can't say that Scarlet Kitty's newspaper don't have an effect on me. They do. They hurt. I don't want them anymore. Stop.
Look, it wasn't a newspaper out of hate. It was a newspaper out of love. Okay.
She hits me on the bottom of the feet, so it doesn't leave marks. Help. But no, really, just fun seed. It was a great time. Not sure what else to say about it. It was just 28 out of 28. One of those seeds. I definitely wasn't feeling too good near the end there, but luckily the V fight was pretty clean. Most of the fights were pretty clean. Very happy to see that CPU down on the Hook Route, where I didn't have to deal with him with a party full of mages. So this seed forced you into mages, and it was very well situated to accommodate mages.
Yeah, totally agree. This was a incredibly linear scene. It was just a few choices you could make here and there, but other than that, it kind of played it how you essentially played it. Really, the only question was what do you do when you get headed back to the Earth? Sorry, because you have all these options. You're 3 kms away from go mode.
Yep, I think most people head to the moon after their grind, like I believe Moonblaze and I both did. But if someone actually deviated from that, if they full cleared Earth, then they're actually probably ahead in this particular seed because they only cleared their 3 locations up on the moon and they're good to go.
It's very true.
Yeah.
So with this, you do move on to the semifinals, going up against either Dustygriff or Marten Broadcloak, whoever wins that pairing. How are you feeling about the rest of this tournament?
I'm in danger.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean fair. Like both those runs are scary in different ways. So Yeah,
I mean, perfectly honestly, I've been in danger this entire time, and I just keep on beating luck, I guess, because I mean, moonblazewolf is a tremendous opponent, tremendous runner. Definitely did not expect a 2-0. Expected a 1-2, really, if anything, if not 0-2 against moonblazewolf. So very very huge respect for moonblazewolf. Fantastic runner. Did not expect this outcome, but yeah, here I am.
well, I look forward to watching your races next week, and good luck to you then, I guess.
Much appreciated. And Infinius, Finn, thank you very much for the comms. The whole Restream team, Psychonaut, Dubword for pressing the buttons. Y'all are great. Appreciate it. Wouldn't be a stream without you guys. But with that, I will head out and let you all have a good night.
You have a good
Right.
one.
Thank you much. But while we were rambling on, we did have moonblazewolf finishing with a time of 1:42.16. So less than a 5-minute difference. A nice tight ending to that match. And we do have Blaze here in the booth with us. If you can hear us, GG.
Hey, thank you.
So yeah, basically that match kind of hinged around the 27-minute mark with that Tella. And the fact that you went with the Spoonword party composition. Could you just like talk through that decision of going with, the Spoonword and a Palom rather than 2 Paloms?
I think I just wanted a little bit of Val insurance, and it turned out that Val was at a pretty early on spot, and I would have had a Heroine Rogue for Rosa out of the Treasury, so maybe in retrospect, I should have kept the other Palom, but it's really hard to say. I was hoping to kind of get a little shortcut at the end of that C2, and it just didn't work out. So there was a lot of things I could have done differently, but I thought that was actually a pretty good decision for me at the time. Not sure if Spoonword got in there quite as much as I would have liked, but he still did an admirable job when called upon.
Yeah, I think there are plenty of opportunities from that point on where having a really strong physical fighter would have been a huge advantage and would have been something that you had that Rhybon didn't, and not enough of those situations wound up happening, and it just panned out the way that it did.
Yeah, for sure. But that was the kind of seed I wanted. So I know Rhybon prefers to do like Zerkers and not do mages, not do D Machine and stuff like that, and I was pretty comfortable with that. So I'm glad that it broke the way that it did. I wish I would have found Tella just a little bit earlier. I think I hunted around for extraneous stuff that ultimately I didn't really need if I was going to be going to do a D Machine grind. But all in all, that was the kind of seed that I definitely wanted for a match against Rhybon. So.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. You're scouting and his outward purpose of Zerkers. No, that all that made sense. It's just one of those things where mage, like going fully committing to mages, ended up working out better in this case. And that's just how random plays sometimes. You try to mitigate for something and it didn't pay off.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have kept Edward if I didn't have the spoon either. So, and that was a little bit of a curveball because I was fully planning just to do the Palom Rosa with the Tele Anchor. But you get the spoon, you kind of got a Spoonword. So, yeah, it was all good.
Yeah, like I said, it was a hard call. I wasn't sure. Like I said, I think I made the comment. I wasn't sure what the actual correct call was at the time, and that was after spending more time talking about it. I wouldn't hate to make that choice while trying to race someone as good as Rhybon. So I don't envy that. No, envy your issue. The question for you there.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, Rhybon won, so you could say that was the better choice. But it doesn't. They were both equally acceptable, I think. Yeah. And there were situations where it would have been more advantageous to me to have the Spoonword, and there were definitely some situations that it wouldn't have mattered as much. And I think the seed probably broke a little more the latter way. So.
Yeah, totally agree. Like it's just that, and like I said, if that battle happened to be on the moon, or if there was some other ruder fights on the moon that required a Zerker, then you would have been you would have had the advantage by having an Edward, a Spoonwood, as opposed to having to rely on Rosa aim for Rhybon's point of view.
Yeah, and it's interesting the decisions that you make, and some of them feel a little bit conservative. I was very aggressive when I got back to Earth in the way I routed that, but there was a part of me that wanted to come back to the Earth right away and just full clear that before going up to the moon and hope that there wasn't anything up there other than the 3 required spots. And it kind of turned out that that was the case, but I didn't have the fortitude to pull the trigger on that one. I think that alt gauntlet scared me just a little bit more than like anything else other than the alt gauntlet there. I probably would have convinced myself to full clear the Earth before going up to the moon, and probably would have won the seed in that case. But yeah, it's hard to say.
And yeah, that's such a hard call as well, given that you have 3 lunar altars as being objectives. Make kind of rough to know if any of those has one of your required key items that's and it changes to another, that's kind of bad if you opt into the moon first as opposed to full clearing Earth. So it's a tough call to make at the time, and yes, it would have paid off if you'd done it, but making that call would be a bold gamble, a bold choice.
Very bold, very bold. But when you're playing somebody like Rhybon, you need to make gambles like that. And
true.
My routing when I got back to the Earth was kind of my gamble in this seed, and it just wasn't enough, unfortunately. Even though I did sort of sidestep a couple of pretty nasty boss fights. So
that wyvern at Odin Throne.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that's a thing that happened.
Yeah. Also, not having to do the alt gauntlet, which that would have been about a couple of minutes. You would have made it back by it because it had the pass, but but not enough to make it worth doing, I would have thought.
Yeah, for sure. Pass would have been okay if it would have been in conjunction with full clearing everything else, but again, it's just like that's a really, really bold play to make when there's 3 moon objectives like that. And I don't know. The problem is you kind of see those and you're like, well, if I'm going up there, I'm going to full clear. So
yeah.
I felt I kind of wanted to convince myself to stay up there and do Cave Bahamut too. And then when I pulled the Luca key out of there, I actually felt pretty good about that decision. But then the Luca key was nothing, and so. Yeah,
yes,
fun stuff. Fun race. Definitely enjoyed the series. I'm glad this one was a lot closer because again, I felt like I played pretty well tonight. I felt like I played pretty well in game 1 too, but that one was a wider margin. But this one was. I'm pretty proud of how I played tonight, honestly.
Yeah, you two definitely gave us an exciting show at a lot of spots.
Yeah, thanks. And I really appreciate everybody coming out and watching. Thank you, both of you, and Phineas and Hupfin, for doing the commentary. Thank you, Psychonaut, for rolling a really cool seed. I haven't had a lot of seeds like this in the bracket round, so that was very enjoyable. And thank you, Dubward, for doing the tracking. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
Yeah. All right, so with all of that, that will wrap things up for us for tonight. We do have, as I pull everything up, we do have a match tomorrow. As I said, Rhybon winning this set will face either Dustygriff or Marten Broadcloak. We don't know which one yet. We will find that out tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern on RPG Limit Break. But for now, we are going to head over and visit Dr. Cossack, esteemed member of the community, running one of the async races that is currently going on, is indicating it's XC3JX0. If you don't know what that means, don't worry. If you do know what that means, maybe you don't want to follow the raid. But either way, thanks everyone for coming out. Thanks again to Psychonaut for the restream and Dubword for the tracking, and of course to my co-commentator Phineas. And Vinny, you want any last word before we head on out?
No. This is a very fun race to talk through. Also enjoyed the chat of all the Australian sports things. Because if nothing else, it provides for some interesting topics, and I hope everyone learned something at least.
Yeah, and as we go over to Dr. Cossack, feel free to talk to him about Australian sports if you want to, but don't talk to him about the outcome of this race. No spoilers as we go over.
Yeah, totally. Otherwise, no, there will be newspapers. So, no one wants those newspapers full of. I mean, they're full of love, but no one really wants to get newspapered.
Absolutely. But with that, thank you all for watching. Have a good evening, morning, afternoon, whatever time it is.